Hi guys, it's Laurel of the Dabbling Hook, and I'm back, and I'm once again recording on my phone, so I want to keep looking at myself instead of the camera. Alright, it is Sunday. It is, the heck time is it? I think it's around 3:30. Hold on, I have a watch on my hand. 3:33 in the afternoon, and it is snowing, and we are heading into our first bona fide snowstorm. It's supposed to be 10 to 16 inches. We shall see. Minion 2 is gleeful and hopeful that it will snow enough that there will be no school tomorrow. I'm actually hoping that there will be enough snow because it's supposed to, there's a storm warning in through Tuesday. I'm not sure if it's all day Tuesday, but you may hear background noise. Father Minion's watching football, and the heaters are going as well. But I'm not sure if it's gonna go stop Tuesday morning or most through Tuesday, but he's hoping, and I'm actually hoping or hopeful because I don't want to drive into work on Tuesday. The usual hour or so drive will be so much longer with snow on the ground, so yeah. Anyway, how are you guys doing? I hope you're having a good day so far, or have had a good day. Most of the day's gone. I was tired after craft fair, and what did I have to do? I had to go grocery shopping after craft fair. We'll just leave it at that. And so yeah, by the time I was done, I came, put everything away, do all that. I was tired, so I had an early late night. I was in bed early for me, but I didn't go to sleep right away. So this is just hopefully a quick recap of the craft fair since I recorded a video, but I also wanted to talk about, not really, just mention the whole COPPA thing again. COPPA, the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. There's so many videos going around. I'm not sure what to do. I don't want to have to go through 100 and something videos to mark them all, because there's already been a couple of sweeps. I know some people, I know Elizabeth of the Crafty Crocheter said she couldn't respond to videos or had no comments or something like that. They've probably already blocked some of them. There have been a couple of sweeps by YouTube already to mark videos, because I think 90% of my videos were demonetized. I honestly don't know why, and if anyone knows, if you can find out why at least it was demonetized, let me know. I went back and remonetized most of them. My earlier videos were not yarn videos. I was doing Gray's reviews with the minions, so their faces weren't in the videos. It was just our hands and us talking, but I made all those private. And I'm going back, and some of the videos where the thumbnails are of amigurumis or one of the crochet carousels I did, I had a picture of a carousel. I figured that's probably why. I'm redoing the thumbnails if I can find just an appropriate picture, or it might just be my logo in the thumbnail with the episode number. So I'm not looking forward to that, and trying to figure out why it was demonetized, and if I remonetize it, are they going to take it off again? And it's just, it just doesn't make sense. I completely understand the need for child protection, but I think the way they're going about it is just so vague, so up in the air, and it just is so confusing, so much confusion, because you have the FTC rules, and then you have what YouTube is doing, and it's just, it's causing more confusion than helping, I think. So I'm in a wait and see, but I'm also trying to go through videos and redo some of the thumbnails to make it look less child appealing, which I think that's one of the things that annoys me the most about this stuff that's appealing to children. Everything is appealing to children. Everything is new, everything they see, anything bright. I mean, bright colors. I'm not supposed to like bright colors and show that I like bright colors as an adult. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to go on a rant, so I'm going to stop there, and just know that if some of the thumbnails look different, it's because I'm changing or in the process of changing some of them. Anything that had an amigurumi on the front, I'm changing those. Anyway, so I watched a video of, I think she's an Australian woman. I'm probably getting the accents wrong, but she says she has over 1,000 videos on YouTube, and she does journaling, how to make journals, I think cross stitching, all kinds of videos, but she's teaching, and she was so emotional about it, and I felt so bad for her. If I remember, I'll put a link to her video below, and it's like her connection, you know, to the world out there. Her kids are grown, they're not interested in that. It's something that she enjoys doing, and it was so heartbreaking to watch, because it's what she does, and those are the people that it will really affect, because, you know, if I have to stop making videos, I have to stop making, it will suck. Excuse me, that's probably not a word I'm supposed to use, right? It will stink, but yeah, it's confusing, and I'm confused, and I'm just gonna wait and see right now, because there are videos that say, oh, don't worry, it won't be so bad, and then there are others that make it look like, and I know there are videos out there where people are just hyping it up, and just so you can watch their videos, but it's a lot to absorb. Change will always happen, but it's not always good, and it's not always done effectively, so that's where we are right now. Anyway, and the other thing too, I looked at my analytics, and I have nothing. My audience is 35 and over. So I don't know. I doubt that plays into it, because it's so many factors that go into what the bots are looking at too. So let's see. Oh, and it also said my audience is 100% female. So sorry, Gary out there. Hi, Gary, and Ross, and any other guys who what are they? The husband-wife team. Fiber Hearts. So it's not 100% female, but I guess on the scale. So that was my 7-minute ranty introduction. I need some tea. I'm on my 3rd pass of my cup of tea. This is a mug I bought at my last fair that was 2 Sundays ago. So yeah, been using it. But my 3rd pass means I always start with 2 tea bags, and I have that, and then I add more water, warm that up, and I just keep doing that through there. Usually I don't add more tea bags to it unless I'm really going to town on the tea. So I kept a little list of what I sold at the craft fair, but oops. So I think I would have put a clip in the beginning with the snowstorm. It started already, pretty much right on time. They had it right, and when I first recorded it, it just started, and stuff is already sticking, so I'm thinking that we may actually get what they say we're gonna get. But I've been making a hat for Minion 2. It's a knitted hat, and I thought I was doing good. I finished it at the craft fair. I stitched it all up together, and it's the long tube that you double over, so it's nice and extra thick. Excuse me. So it was all set and done. Ooh, I have a stretch stitch right here, and put together, and then I tried it on his head last night, and he says it's a tad short. So I'm like, no, this is like the 2nd time I'm doing this hat. First time was in number 5 bulky yarn, and there was wool in it, and that was not happening. It was too itchy for him. So that hat, actually, I ended up selling at the craft fair that I did a week ago, this Sunday, and it was nice and thick and warm, because it's the wool spun and it's doubled over, so it was awesome. That may be a project that I do as easily portable, always with me, because it's just knitting and knitting and knitting. But yeah, it's a super long tube, and I thought I was done, everything stitched together, and like I said, it's too short. So last night I actually was able to unpick it, and this was the cast on edge, and you can tell, because I didn't do, and I don't know how to do the provisional cast on. I haven't tried that yet, so I had to unpick where I sewed it together and pick up the stitches. So there's just a bit of a pull here, and hopefully it won't bug him when I finish it. But last night I was able to put about 5 inches of length on it, and I'm gonna go a little further just to be safe. that, you know, that's not enough, because when you close it up and double it over, you lose a little bit of length. So I'm going to keep going on that. And I'm hoping I should, if I was able to put 5 inches last night, then I should be able to get that done this week, providing I take it along with me as my go everywhere project. Okay. What else? I don't think I have anything else, because, you know, I just did a video yesterday, or Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, I did a video Friday. So the craft fair went well. This was year 3. I think this was year 3 or 4. Might be year 3 at this location, or at this craft fair. It's a well-run craft fair. They have people helping you, which when I first started doing craft fairs, you had to lug everything in and out yourself. And let me tell you, when it starts getting cold and you have to unpack your car, by the time you get everything in and have to set up, you're already out of breath and tired. And then at the end of the day, it's just even worse because it's cold. Sometimes it started snowing. It's a lot. So it's so great to have them, have people helping you in, bringing your stuff in, and then helping you bring stuff out. They're even asking you if you needed help breaking down, which is, I never take that because everything has to be packed in a way, because I have a system, so it fits in my car. So that is one of the best things. And whenever they put their surveys, I always make sure that's my number one thing, so that they keep doing that. Having that extra help is awesome. What else? Having food there is great. There's one craft fair I do where they give you free lunch. You can't beat that. But usually they have lunch that you can purchase. The one I did at the beginning of November, they send out the menu and you order. You can order when you get there, but you order ahead of time what you would like for lunch and all that, and then they bring it to you at a certain time, which is always great. So the one I have coming Saturday, there's lunch, but you know, you have to get yourself there, make your way back and forth. One of the craft fairs I do, I don't remember which one, they have, I don't know what, the relief staff, I guess. So they come around frequently asking if you need to go to the bathroom. They sit at your booths, you know, so things aren't left by themselves or left alone. So that's always great at a craft fair. What else? It's at a school. I think it's in the gym. So it's nice, wide open, great lighting. Actually, one part there's all windows, and in the morning, the people there, I'm sure they were blistering. It was quite hot with the sun. But I've gotten my same spot the last 3 years, so it's been great. What else can I say? Yep, and my neighbor, last year, the 2 neighbors next to me, the one next to me, she complained. She was nice, but she complained a lot. She didn't show up again. She said she wasn't coming back. And then the woman next to her was just not nice at all. Just, I don't know how you can do the selling and just have such a piss poor attitude, but to each his own. But both my neighbors were great. The woman on the other side of me was an elderly lady. Her son came with her. He didn't stay the whole time, but he was in and out. But she sold American Girl dolls, so she does well. The only thing is, I was trying to find a way, and I didn't. You know, sometimes just keep your mouth shut. I think it would benefit her to put like a bar of soap in her, when she puts everything away, because everything was giving off quite the air of that it's been packed up for quite a while, that musty smell. She still had a lot of sales, so people, I guess, wanted the clothes, and I'm sure they'll just wash it or whatever. But yeah, it was, the air was quite perfumed with the, that boxed up, almost musty smell. But she was a lovely woman. So, all right, enough of my on and on. I did start another project at the fair. Let me do this first. I started the gift hat. I showed the yarns that I had caked up, that I had purchased. So I started one of them at the fair, and this is the Anastasia hat. The one thing I'm noticing about this yarn, and I'm a little concerned I may not have enough, but it's not as plump, this one, as the other DKs that I used, the one in the pattern and the Lady Dye yarn. Those were very plump as I was working it up, and I'm finding that this is not as plump. And I just went and ordered some yarn. Hand-dyed yarn. So gorgeous, so gorgeous. I was on Instagram, and one of the people that I follow, she showed a hat, and I'm like, oh, what is that colorway? I love it. And I could tell it wasn't like the big box yarn. So she told me whose it was, and I went to her link, and oh, the yarns are just so pretty. So I did a little purchase. But it'll be for me, because it's just so gorgeous. Anyway, but what I noticed on her site was that she had two DKs. She had a plump DK and a strong DK, and I'm wondering if this is a strong DK, because it definitely doesn't have the plumpness as others I've used. But anyway, if I find that I'm running out, I will make adjustments to the pattern so that it fits. The good thing is it's for my sister-in-laws, and they are petite ladies, so and I have a ginormous head, so that's my work in progress, along with Minion 2's hat. Yeah, I think that's what I have working for now. So, craft fair. What's sold? It started off, what's the word I'm looking for? It started off like with a bang almost, and I heard a noise. I'm recording. You coming through?
See that.
Huh?
I can see that.
Let me pause. I had to pause because somebody didn't want to be in the video. Where was I? Okay, so it started off, looking for the right word. Pretty active. It started off pretty active. There were quite a good group of people who came through. And the very first thing I sold, the first person who came in looked at the, do I have it? I don't have it, but, and I didn't even take a picture, as I mentioned on Friday, the big button cowl that I made in the Thick and Quick, and the colorway is Spice Market, and I have a feeling, and you're gonna hear life noises, because it's after 3 and Minion 1 just woke up. Teenage life. So he's having breakfast right now. The colorway is Spice Market, and I don't know if it's gonna, it's really, really pretty when it's worked up. Funny enough, it reminds me kind of this hand dyed that I bought, and I hope I'm not going pastel on myself, because but she picked it up and bought it right away. So Big Button Cowl was the first thing that sold yesterday, and it just picked up, and it was steady for the first, it started at 9, so the first 2 hours, and then it hit 11 and things kind of died down, and would have little spurts of people coming, but it wasn't as busy as it was the first 2 hours. So I didn't get like an official picture because I finished it the night before, and I wasn't able to get a picture, and then I bagged everything and packed everything up. And did I mention on Friday that after everything was packed in the car, my brother calls and asks, did I forget anything from Thanksgiving? I'm like, no. And he's like, are you sure? And like, you're not missing your wallet? I'm like, no, I'm not. I made sure. I go look in my bag and it's not there. I'm like, no. So I contemplated just, not even bothering, but everything's in the wallet, so I had to go get it. So yeah, I had to, with my packed car, I had to go drive into Boston. So, and then, yeah, it was a long night because I had to make an extra stop after that. Okay, so, all the Victrina hats that I showed, I sold for, I think 5, but I may not have recorded one. No, I sold 4, something else. I sold 4 Victrina hats, and again, the pom-poms were a big hit. My shell stitch cowl and hat pattern I still have a few. When I first made them, I made them with Line Brands, no, not Woolies, Woolies Tonal. It's basically Woolies, the chunky Woolies, but in tonal colorways. And I still have a few of those, a couple of those, and I also made it a lot in wool spun, one of my favorites that's no longer. So I have a few there, but I also have cowls that I made that I have a few left, I think like 4 left, and one actually sold, and I think I've been carrying that around for at least 2 years, and one actually sold. That was my second sale with a Victrina hat. I sold an Yvette shawl, the newer one with the angel kind of wing. An older elderly lady. She was with a friend of hers helping in her friend's booth, and she came over and she's looking at the shawls. And people look at my shawls, but I think everyone has Granny in mind when they think of shawls. So I'm always excited when one sells. And she's like, I've been looking for that because it's too big of what I find at the stores is too big. And she liked the colors. It was one that I used with it was 2 yarns. It was, I think it was one of the mandala yarns with what is it? Shawl and a ball with the sparkle. And she loved it, and she was saying how many things it can go with the color combination. She tried it on, and her friend came over, and she's like, do you need money? She asked me, she's like, do you take cards? I'm like, yes. She goes, nope, then I can afford it, I'm good. So that was awesome. But she liked the shape. She liked that when she put it on, it stayed on. So that the second version of the brain fart. The second version of the Yvette shawl, and Carrie Penny actually, hey Carrie, just showed the one that she finished, and that's another thing that she liked, that version stays on. So yeah, I have some shawl and balls that I need to use up, and I think I'm going to use it for that. I had a chunky beanie. It was thick and quick in the Fishman colorway, and I just I had a little ball left of another color. It was like a denim color, and I just made that for the pom-pom, and I think I've had it for 2 years. People have tried it on and not bought it. And an older lady came. She had just bought another hat. I was across from my booth, because right across from me somebody didn't show up, so there was an open space, which worked out because where I had to set up, I didn't have a lot of room to sit, and mine was way in the back to sit. So I hardly sat the whole time, and I was knitting most of the time, walking back and forth. So I used that open area to just mill around, and I'd let people know I'm over here. Just ask me if you have any questions. And I saw her walk into my space, and she had a crochet hat on. So I'm like, oh, I see you have a crochet hat on. And she's like, yeah, I just bought it, but it was just a regular hat, and it didn't come down, and it wasn't, it was like the rib with the front post ribbing going through, but it was very gappy. And she said she's always cold, so she looked at that chunky hat and she put it on, and she just, yep, I'm getting that, she said, because it was warmer. And I think she was either with her daughter or granddaughter. It's an older girl, and I just kept seeing her. It was pretty slouchy hat, but she put it on, and then because it's been there for a while, it stood up on her head, and I just kept seeing her walking around with that hat, and it just, I loved it. The funny thing is, after she bought that, and it was funny to see like an elderly lady with your hat and the pom-pom sticking up. It just made my day. But I'm assuming it was her daughter she was with, came by, looked at, I have 3 loveys that I have left. I have the brown girl lovey, and if I can find a picture, if I can go back and find the picture, I'll put it in. I also have an owl lovey that I made out of charisma that I've had for going on 2 years probably. And the other one is Amber's Spooky the Friendly Ghost. Somebody else looked at it, and I forget what she said it looked at like. But anyway, she looked at the brown girl lovey, and thought how cute it was. She was showing her mom, I assume. And then they left, and then she came back and she bought the lovey. So even though I say hold on to things and don't discount it or give it away, there comes a time when you're like, should I not, what to do with it, because you don't want to keep carrying the same inventory over and over again. But I have to remind myself I also have the feeling that I don't want to give it away and I don't want to let it go just because. So it will go to who it's meant to be, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And that I've been carrying for a while. That pom-pom hat her mom bought, I've been carrying for a while. The shell stitch cowl I've been carrying for a while, and it found the right people yesterday. So if you don't have the space for it, then yeah, let it go. But if you do, don't give it away. I sold 4 headbands. One of them, the lady, she had come around a couple of times, and then I saw her back again, and she was looking around, and this is when I was milling around in the open space. And I walked up to her, and she goes, "Oh, is this yours?" I'm like, "Yep." And she's like, "I only have 14. The headbands I sell for $15. And she's like, "I only have 14. And I'm like, "That's fine, I'll take 14. And she's like, "Thank you so very much." Better a sale than apps walking away with no sale. So it was that plus 3 more Kalina headbands. I sold 5 octos. There definitely weren't a lot of kids at this, surprisingly. Usually there were in the last 2 years. There weren't that many kids. And I'm finding that with a lot of my fairs this year so far. It's not very kid heavy, so you just never know. So yeah, 5 octos, a bear that I think I showed a few episodes back, but it was a classic teddy bear that I made. I even took it and added a little to the eyes because I stitched on the eyes, and to me it looked a little not bright and cherry, so I added like gray around the eyes just to brighten it up a bit, and added a little to the smile, and it actually sold. And it sold, the person who bought it with an octo, so that was cool. I sold 3 2-button cowls, so I now only have 3 left, and I need to make at least a couple before, actually, I need to make at least 3 or 4 before Saturday, because that fair's one, that was been my best fair the last 2 years, and yeah, I only have 3 left in inventory, so yikes. I think I'm good on the Victrina, but all the black ones I had sold, and I need to redo those. So, and the last thing I sold, the divine hat that I made with the latte cakes. And again, if I remember to get the picture, I'll put that in. But it was what's the word? An endearing moment. It was a deaf couple, and I don't know if it was a friend or a family member that was with them, who they were all signing and talking to me, and I loved how confident they were, because I've had occasion where there was a deaf woman and she was writing to me, and she looked so pained, like writing what she wants, and I have the feeling that other vendors weren't as kind to her, and this was like last year, the year before, and she was looking for something specific, and I took the time, to write and answer her question. So these 3 were in my booth signing and talking, and one of them could speak, but she was also signing, and she loved the hat, and she was making sure she got her husband's opinion and everything, and yeah, it was cool, and she loved the hat, and her friend or whoever it was with her tried that on too, and she's like doing the poses and everything. So basically, it was a good day yesterday. It was a good fair. It was run well. The customers who came were lovely. I did, of course, you always have the people who look at something and then they look at the price, and that's the end of that. You can't help that, but yeah, it was a good day. Now I already hear the plow. I don't know why they're already out there, or maybe they're just salting the roads, but things are already sticking, so I think we're in it for a good good snowstorm, our first good snowstorm of the season. The only good thing about it is I potentially won't have to drive into work, but yeah. it's coming. All right. I don't know what else. I have things to make. I had one F-bomb left, and my coworker, while I was at the fair, texted, and he wanted to put in an order. I'm like, oh, I have one left. How's that? So I have to take that in to him. And then a cousin of mine, who just became an auntie for the first time, requested an octo in a particular colorway, and then she also saw the seahorses. So one of those that was in my inventory is now put aside for her as well. So I have to do that. And yeah, what do I have to do? I have things to make. Cowls and hats I need to make to replenish, but other than that, I think I'm good. So me just looking for things to talk about. I have none, and I'm gonna go make a 2-button cowl and edit this video. I hope you guys have a good night. It's freezing. I'm not one for the thumb holes on the sweatshirts, but right now it's coming in handy. And I'm gonna go warm up my tea again and edit, and I'll talk to you guys later. And stop looking at myself. Look over there. Have a good day, guys. Talk to you. Bye.